The Grimeborn Opera Festival is taking over the Hackney Empire stage for a special adaptation of the second act of Wagner's Ring Cycle. Die Walküre follows the story of two lovers fleeing for their safety, which turns into an apocalyptic battle for power. Tanya has been speaking to the show's director.
The most famous, pieces in the opera repertoire. The original version is significantly longer. We've cut this down, well, we have, and Jonathan dubbed it to roughly 3 hours and 10 minutes. It's epic music, it's an epic story, and it's not done very often. So, even yesterday when we were running it, there were people just sitting who were in our team who never heard it and were really moved and touched, and that made me really happy because that's what it's all about, so that that we have access to this piece.
What's it been like for you being a part of this? It was sort of split into a couple of series, sort of pre-pandemic and post-pandemic.
Well, this whole being an artist in this time is very, shall we say, adventurous and challenging, and it's just been part of the ride, really. But we're all delighted that it's happened, and there have been so many bumps in the road and so many scares, and it's a little tiny miracle. So it's especially, how to say, important and special to us that it's happening because it's been such a rocky road.
If we go back to the actual music, you were saying there that it really moves people and that this piece really touches people. What is it about it that you think makes it resonate and so special?
With a lot of things in art, it's very hard to say what exactly it is, but I'd like to find anybody who can sit through this and listen to it and say, oh, that didn't do anything to me. It's very, very emotionally driven and very evocative. The stakes are very high, and it's very all engrossing, all capturing, even with the reduced orchestra that we have.
And are you doing anything differently from a directing point of view? Is there anything that you kind of learned over the last year, or anything that you've chosen to change now that you're back on stage and back being able to direct huge pieces like this?
I think we all evolve all the time, no doubt. Had I done it 2 years ago, it would have been a different show. No question, with different cast and different people and a different team, and it's always a different vibe. So it's all very, dependent on those things. I think, as an artist, I've started appreciating how important it is what we do and how precious it is. So we all have a really great understanding of that. And, I've always done shows with, should we say, limited means, because that's how a lot of directors start. And this one, even though it's grand, it is still within limited means in relationship to the grandeur of the piece. So, it's about focusing on the people and the journeys and giving people opportunities, even when the conditions are challenging, that you don't shy away from it and you still do it. And that's what we've done, and that's important to all of us.
Yeah, I guess that the timing in many ways is as good as it gets at the moment. We've got a lot of the freedoms back. We can have a lot more bums on seats in theatres. The staging plays a big role in the performance. Can you explain what we can expect from the performance and also in the backdrop of Hackney Empire?
We didn't direct this, or rather I didn't direct this socially distanced. It just came after those new regulations. But, we were wearing masks, we were testing every day, and obviously being very, very cautious so nothing was going to happen. We did it in a very short time frame, sort of just over 2 weeks, which, given the length and the magnitude of the piece, is really quite something. But that also helps with getting it done quickly so that you don't run into trouble, and also within the parameters of what we have available to us. Given all of that, and in connection to the piece that we did before, the Rheingold, we have something that recycles and repurposes elements that we find in the theatre anyway. So it sort of looks, fabulously urban and eclectic, and somewhat like an art installation. But for instance, we have flight crates that some of the lighting equipment came in, and now they are featuring on stage. And that was also important, to us as a message that you can reuse things. And actually, we did a Rape of Lucretia a few years ago, and then some of the little boxes we've coloured in a different colour, and it's like, those are the ones from that. So, it's good to reuse things.
Julia Burbach there. The Opera Festival is on until Saturday. Let's just take a look at the weather.